Welcome into the John D. Winkin Sports Complex for today's out-of-conference Division III baseball action between the Husson University Eagles and the Bowdoin College Polar Bears. North Atlantic Conference, NESCAC Conference, two of the better conferences in the state, two of the better teams in the state, and we will get everything through and through for a great game. I'm Jake Willett, and now let me turn it over to my broadcast partner, Xander Cook, for first pitch. Xander?
Welcome, everyone, to today's Monday night baseball action, where the skies are dark, but the lights still shine bright. We got the Husson Eagles versus the Bowdoin Polar Bears. Polar Bears sitting at 21-9 on the season, guaranteed that 1 or 2 spot in the NESCAC Conference, whereas the Eagles sit at a 17-9 record and an astounding 10-0 division record.
Yeah, Bowdoin is one of the best. Like, when you think of Northeast baseball, you usually think of Bowdoin College. They have been very good, a vast improvement upon last season. Last season, just going a game over 500. They went 500 in NESCAC play, went 18-17. They lost in the quarterfinals to Amherst in Game 3 of that series, 12-4. But now they've turned it right around. They've turned into a wagon, 21-9, like you mentioned early on here, with just about a week left before playoffs.
It's going to be one run that we'll like to see when playoffs do start. I mean, that turnaround going from 18-17 last season to 21-9 this season, just an incredible turnaround for Bowdoin. And then Husson lost 5 key players last season, still 17-9 this season. I mean, they still tremendous team. And obviously very, very fun to watch for not only us, but you fans out there as well. On the mound today, we have Chris Lusignan making his sixth appearance, He's 1-0 this season, 5.1 innings pitched, 1.23 ERA. And his first pitch, that is a skyscraping hit way up there in the air, and Jackson Curtis is under it for the first out of the game.
Yeah, good work there from Lusignan, the freshman, coming in, attacking this very talented Bowdoin lineup, a lineup that is hitting almost 290 on the season. They've been very solid at the plate, including this dangerous middle part of the order. So Lusignan getting in there, attacking early, getting the first pitch strike. It's a great thing to see.
And this first pitch is also launched into the air. And under it to make the catch is Marshall. So just like that, 2 pitches, 2 pop-outs.
So that is the definition of efficiency, right?
Oh,
there.
yeah.
2 pitches, 2 outs. I think both fly balls probably are the same height as the Empire State Building.
They were way up there.
Miles up in the air, especially with this like kind of dust cloud. It's not easy to see once it gets over those lights.
Now up to the plate is Murray. That pitch in there for strike 1.
Murray has a whopping 7 homers on the season. So there's a very dangerous power bat in the middle of this Bowdoin lineup. As he hit a homer last time these two faced off over at Bowdoin on April 7th, was the only run that they scored in that contest.
He is the dangerous hitter. And then against Colby, he went 5 of 10 at the plate, couple RBIs, a double, another homer. I mean, this kid does it all. The senior out of New York.
Over a 1,000 OPS on the season. That is unheard of at the college level.
It is incredible. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and that is not in the zone. That'll be ball number 2.
He went kitchen hunting there.
Here's the 2-2 from Lusignan. And that one's just fouled off at the plate.
Again, very encouraging signs here from the freshman. Coming out here, throwing strikes, pounding the zone. Had 2 walks in his last outing against Linden. But the kid has a promising future for Coach Morris here in the Eagles.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and there's a swing and a miss. A strikeout from Lusignan. And just like that, the top 3 hitters for Bowdoin gone. We are heading into the bottom first inning where you guys will see Akira Warren, Tanner Evans, and Jackson Curtis up at the plate. We'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back, everyone, to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. We are here for the bottom first inning after a quick 1-2-3 top first inning from Chris Lusignan. On the mound for the Polar Bears is Luca McCurley Coronado, the junior out of Berkeley, California, making his fifth start. And up to the plate, the speedy Akira Warren. And that's a grounder up the middle. Shortstop there, and that's a quick out for the Eagles. That was Cook over to Murray.
Yeah, the junior getting the start here. Got a little roughed up in his last outing back on the 14th against Tufts, which is a very, very good program over there. Through 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks. But this is also a very dangerous lineup, just like Tufts. So we'll see if Coronado can bounce back here early in a tough Eagles lineup.
Tanner Evans now up to the plate, batting .300 on the year with double-digit RBIs. Looks at that one, doesn't like it. And that is ball 1 for Mr. Evans. Curly Coronado with a 4.13 ERA this season. He's pitched over 24 innings as that second pitch is in there for strike 1.
Pretty deceptive delivery from Coronado. He's thrown out of the stretch, and then he's got the short arm release. So it definitely, he hides the ball very well on that right side of the mound.
Yeah, he keeps the batters guessing as Evans skies that one into right field, and Siegel is under that one to make the out.
Just like we saw with Lusignan in the top half of the inning, Coronado attacking the zone early, throwing that first pitch strike, being competitive early on in the game. With a midweek game like this, you want to be competitive. You want to show what you got leading into the playoff push down the line so your number gets called in the playoffs.
Exactly. You got to show out for Monday Night Baseball. I mean, come on. Got the lights shining down. Love me some nighttime baseball.
Talk about a guy that can show out on Monday Night Baseball here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network.
Oh, yeah.
Jackson Curtis, one of the best hitters in the entire state.
One of the best hitters in Eagles history as he grounds that one, and he's going too. Error over at first. Murray couldn't make the catch. And just like that, we have Jackson Curtis on at 2. And up to the plate now is Matt Holmes. But like you were saying, Jacob, I mean, Jackson Curtis, the name speaks for itself.
That's one of those plays there from Foley. He just kind of rushed it a little too early. Maybe the jitters got to him a little bit. Being on the road, playoff action on the horizon in a night game in a tough road environment.
And there's strike 1 for Matt Holmes. Holmes batting almost .310 this season. He's got 4 doubles, couple triples, 8 homers, and then 30 RBIs. What a year Holmes is having. And that one's a base hit. In comes Jackson Curtis. It'll be 1-0 Eagles. Holmes going to RBI double to start things off in the bottom first inning for these Eagles.
Beautiful piece of hitting there from Matt Holmes. You saw the shortstop shifted behind the bag at second base, shot it right where the shortstop would have been, shot it in the gap, driving in a run, getting the early lead on.
And that's the kind of start these Eagles need against a team that's got 21 wins this season, already guaranteed the top 2 playoff spot in their conference. Trying to make it known that they're in this to win it. And here's Hunter Curtis up to the plate. Looks at strike 1.
Great location there from Coronado, right on that outside half of the plate. Being competitive, like we mentioned early on, being competitive, throwing that first pitch strike.
And that's a hit over to Cook. Cook with the throw over to first to Murray, and that is how the bottom first inning ends. Eagles up 1-0. Heading into the top second inning. We'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. We got the 4, 5, 6 hitters up for the Polar Bears. It is Lucas Chai up to the plate, junior out of New Jersey, batting almost .350 this season, Jacob.
Yeah, crazy numbers from Chai, switch hitter, so he's definitely tough from both sides of the plate.
And there's a fly ball out in center, and under that one to make the grab is Hunter Curtis. And like we saw last inning, Jacob, Lusignan, first pitch, fly out.
Yeah, dominance on the bump right now for Lusignan, as he only had 5 appearances coming into the season, a 1.23 ERA, a 2.08 batting average, so he's a tough guy to hit against. Throws that ball right competitive down the middle, gets the out there early on.
And Foley is hit by the pitch. That'll send him off to first. We don't see many of those mistakes from Lusignan on the mound.
Yeah, absolutely. Now it's the time to, the whole art of pitching is to get the bounce back here. You plunk the guy on the first pitch. How do you bounce back here with the rest half of this order?
And that one is hit deep into the outfield, and waved off by Akira Warren. Warren is under that one to make the second out of the inning. And again, first pitch, fly out. So that's how you bounce back.
Absolutely.
And Lusignan's first pitch in there for strike one. Henry Bibbo up to the plate, the designated hitter.
One thing I'm liking from Lusignan is that he's got the command of the off-speed pitches. That is something that you want to see out of a young arm like this on a tough lineup here. Late in the season, it's cold, it's windy. You might not have that command of your off-speed, your secondaries, but Lusignan has great control of the secondaries, and it's proven throughout this one.
Yeah, he's finding the zone extremely well as that one's fouled off behind us. It'll be a 1-2 count now for Lusignan. But he is just pounding the zone early on. Really has that great control, like you mentioned. His off speed is working. Mind you, this kid is just a freshman. So having him here at Husson University for the next 3 years, critical part for the rotation in the coming years.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you're losing guys like Matt Wallingford, Ryan Penny, like Connor Aboud, you're losing some big arms next season. So having a young guy like this.
And that's another hit by the pitch. Already the second one this inning.
See, Lusignan trying to run that fastball a little too far inside, trying to get one in off the hands. Right now with this Eagles defense, you really just want to pitch to contact, get the out. You got 2 outs. See what he can do now with the 8 hitter up now.
And up steps Will Cook, batting almost 300 this season, as that one's hit into the outfield. And that is a fly out. Matt Holmes under that one to end the top of the second inning. So even though a couple of hit by pitches, runner in scoring position, no dice for these Polar Bears, and we are headed to the bottom second inning. We'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network, where we are due up for the bottom second inning. Cameron Dell up to the plate, the junior out of Nova Scotia. Batting .231 this season. He's having a down year. Last season batted over .325, but he's still getting on base. He has an on base percentage of 40.5%. As he fouls off that one.
Yeah, like you mentioned, 40% pretty much on base. He's very pesky at the plate, fouls off pitches, he takes good pitches, he works his counts. And then if you throw him a mistake, he's going to punish it.
Yeah. I mean, 2 homers, 7 RBIs, and it's the walks as that one's hit into left field and under to make the catch is Collins. But Rendell still seeing the plate very well, even though he's having a down year hitting-wise. I mean, he's got 12 walks this season, so he's still a crucial part of this Eagles lineup. And now it's Ryan Remetta up to the plate. Takes strike one. Remetta, for his first 2 years here at Husson, he was primarily a pitcher. He only pitched. Now this is his second full season batting for these Eagles. The 0-1 pitch. Remetta lines out over to Bordes. And that's a quick out number 2 for these Polar Bears. Great reaction time from Bordes over there. As Colin Marshall calls time just to tie his cleats real quick. Now he's back in for the 0-1.
Marshall had a great series against Colby. Cobleskill went 3 for 6 in the doubleheader. He's been a very good piece in the bottom half of this order for Coach Morris. He's been a reliable piece in that bottom half of the order.
The 0-2 pitch as Marshall skies that one into center field, and under it to make the quick out is Thompson. And just like that, a quick inning once again. We'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network for the top third inning. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network, where we are here in the top third inning. It still is 1-0 Eagles after one run on one hit in the bottom first, where Jackson Curtis reached on an error to get to second, and then it was Matt Holmes who plated him. Now up to the plate for the Polar Bears, as that one's fouled off, is Grant Collins, the senior out of Portland, not Maine, but Connecticut.
Yeah, it's always fun to see where, like, when you see a town that you know, and then you see how many different states have the same town.
Right?
So I had no idea there was a Portland, Connecticut until I was doing the prep work for this.
That ball too high is now 2-1. And Collin gets a rip of that one. That remains fair. Collins turning 2. Holmes throws it, and not in time, as Collins plates a double to start things off for these Polar Bears. And that is exactly the kind of inning that the Polar Bears need, that quick start, attacking Lusignan early in this one. After quick innings in 1 and 2, he's under 20 pitches throughout the game, which is absurd, by the way.
Yeah, very much. It was also a great piece of hitting. Got his hands inside the baseball, kept it fair down the line. Now, the top of this order is what's really got to help the rest of the offense try and drive this in.
Thompson shows bunt, places it perfectly, but Lusignan gets it over to first for the quick out. However, Thompson did what he needed to do. Great contact with the ball, and Collins moves over to third. Only 1 out.
Great fundamental baseball by the Polar Bears. You had no outs. You had a guy on second, bump him up, and let the middle of this order do damage, because that's what they've done all season.
Now Bordis, at the plate, popped out in the first inning. Gets a hold of that one, skies it into right field. However, that will be a sac fly, and we are knotted up at 1 in the top third inning.
Again, another good piece of baseball. Having a guy on third with less than 2 outs, you want to drive that ball into the outfield, and that's exactly what he did there.
Murray grounds that over to third, and that is the final out of this inning. Polar Bears did what they needed to do. Good fundamental hitting. Got the double from Collins, perfectly placed bunt from Thompson, and then the sac fly from Bordis knots things up at 1 as we head to the bottom third inning here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Xander Cook, joined alongside Jacob Ouellette as we are here in the bottom third inning. It is Keegan Sear up to the plate. Sear, the North Atlantic Conference Tournament MVP as a freshman.
Yeah, he was absolutely insane, that playoff run. Coach Morris is trying to get him back into that groove. He's hit 444 on the season. So he's in limited at bats, but he's still hitting the baseball. He's getting back into the groove just in time for the playoff push.
Sear takes strike 2. Like you said, getting back into the swing of things, batting over 440. I mean, right now, so far, pretty much in the swing of things.
Yeah. Got the weekend with Thomas coming up, and then you got Farmington the weekend after. Then it's playoff time. It's the right time to get this guy going.
And if you think the lights are bright now, wait till you see playoff time.
Playoff Sear is a different breed.
I cannot wait.
It's going to be a fun ride. Don't miss it. here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Upstairs for ball one. Another thing Sear is really good at is he has a knack for knowing where the ball is, whether it's inside the zone, outside the zone. Gets on base pretty easily as he grounds that over to Bordis for out number one.
Right now, Sear got a little jammed on the inside half. Got it in off the hands. Let's see if this top half of the order can get the mojo back from that bottom of the first.
Kira Warren had that ground out in the first inning. But when he gets on base, you can almost guarantee he's looking to steal a base. He's got tremendous speed.
Absolutely. 13 steals on the season, went 1 for 4 in the series against Cobleskill. Top 5 in career hits, too. Career runs, excuse me.
As Warren will pop that up. Under it to make the catch is Coronado.
That's not one you see too often, seeing the pitcher come in and make that play. Usually you see a catcher or first baseman make that play. But the confidence on Coronado to call everybody off and take control, great thing to see, because pitchers are athletes, my friend.
Oh, yeah. It's always something seeing a ground ball back to the pitcher and they just making tremendous play fielding. That's one underrated aspect as a pitcher. You got to have great fielding because you never know. As Tanner Evans is in an 0-1 count now. Coronado's pitch outside ball one.
That's why Greg Maddux was so good. It's because he could flash the leather like anybody else. And that was a time when Andrew Jones was patrolling center field, winning all the Gold Gloves. He had 2 of the best defenders up the middle.
1-1 pitch right down the middle for strike 2.
Power breaking ball there from Coronado, starting it on the hip of Evans, getting it down the middle of the zone. It just shows how much movement is on that pitch, and we're at a higher angle where it's not really good to see.
I was just about to mention that. That was some tremendous movement as Evans swings and tips that one foul. Stays alive in this appearance. Like you mentioned earlier, Jacob, got to have that repeated success you had in the first inning. Now that things are knotted up, as Evans skies that one over to right for foul ball, which wouldn't even have happened if Murray didn't commit the error from Jackson Curtis. Then it went downhill the next at bat with Matt Holmes doubling him in. As Evans fouls it once again. Seeing great contact from Tanner Evans here. Just needs to level the bat with the ball.
A very good pesky bat. He's got almost 70 walks in his career here as a senior.
Swing and a miss for Tanner Evans, and that'll end the top of the bottom third inning. Coronado showing some filthy stuff out there on the mound. That's his first strikeout here in this matchup, but it's been quick work from Coronado. And we'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network for the top 4th inning. Welcome back, everyone, to the top fourth inning here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Xander Cook, joined alongside Jacob Ouellette. Still a knotted up game, and we got Lucas Chai up to the plate. And it looks like Lusignan called time.
It's his pitch watch thing.
Oh, came undone. Yeah. For a second, I was like, did he injure himself or?
Right, there's a little delay. You never want to see an injury
Yeah, and he was
this
like
close to the
rubbing the
playoffs.
wrist. But he is okay. It was just a watch. Lucas Chai up to the plate, who fouled out in his last appearance. Signan, that one's just a little too high for ball one.
Chai, the other half of the 1-2 punch between him and Murray, he has over 1,000 career OPS. Career. That's not just this year.
Actually,
It's a
so
career
crazy.
number. It is over 1,000.
That is insane.
A 10-12 OPS to be exact. Insane.
And that one close to hitting Chai. However, it did hit the ground first. And that is ball two. Lusignan just lost control at the end. It's a 2-0 pitch outside for ball three.
Try to go with some backdoor salad there.
3-1 pitch. And that one way high up in the sky. And under it to make the grab. No, dropped it. Warren lost it a little bit. It was in his glove. Dropped it. That'll go down as an error. So Chai reaches first on an error from Akira Warren out there in left field. That's one of those where you should hold on to it. Should make the play.
That's also one of those ones that got above the lights. Now it's completely dark.
Yeah, I'm looking up at it. I'm like, where's the ball?
Right? It's a tough avenue to see once the ball gets above the lights. And then right there, it got above the lights. Akira Warren lost it above the lights.
It is a completely different story. It's like night and day.
Yeah.
Quite literally. In daytime, you can track those fly balls like no problem, but at night, once it goes above the lights, it's hard.
Yeah, it's exactly what you're saying. It's hard to track it. You track it so well, then you lose it, and then it's hard to retrack it when it comes down from the lights.
And another filthy pitch from Lusignan there makes it 1-2 count. Fully reached first after being hit by the pitch in the second inning. And sends that one over into left. That's fair. That'll go down for extra bases. Chai rounding the corner, and he will get there easily. That is an RBI double from Foley. Makes it 2-1 Polar Bears.
Yeah, another very good piece of hitting from this Polar Bears team. Driving another pitch, getting the hands inside the baseball, driving it down the line, keeping it fair, which is not easy to do on an inside pitch like that. And Chai just put on the burners and scored all the way from first.
And just like last inning, these Polar Bears are attacking Lusignan. And it is paying off so far as Siegel steps up to the plate. Runner in scoring position, showed bunt, pulled it back. However, I was in the zone for strike one. Here's the 0-1. That is swung on. Another fair ball. And now we have runners on the corners. Single there from Siegel.
Now it's time to see the true resilience from Lusignan. He's got some action up in the Eagles' pen. This is one you can get a ground ball, get 2 outs, sacrifice the run, because your offense is good enough to get that run back. You just don't want this inning to get too out of hand.
Yeah, runners on the corners, no outs. Bibbo up to the plate, who reached first last time, got hit by the pitch. It's a dangerous situation for Lusignan. The Polar Bears can create a lot of damage here. So like you said, we can see some resilience from Lusignan if all goes well.
This is also a Polar Bears team where you don't want to give them that extra.
Exactly.
Those extra base runners have an 816 team OPS, which this is a very good lineup, and they're going to capitalize on mistake pitches.
And that's a swing and a miss. Makes it count 1-2.
I think that was, if you only had the one flap helmet, the helmet's flying off on that swing. That was a hack.
He was swinging for the fences on that one. Lusignan's 1-2. That's fouled off. Bibbo stays alive.
Right now, if you're Bibbo, you want to really drive something in the outfield. It doesn't matter where it goes. Just drive something in the outfield, get that run in from third, and who knows, maybe you find a gap. Maybe you can get that extra base.
Lusignan throws over to first. Tried to get Siegel out. No dice there. Siegel with somewhat comfortable lead over at first. Lusignan's pitch swung on and missed. Crucial strikeout there from Lusignan. Able to get the Eagles first out of the top 4th inning. And now double play ends the inning and avoids any further conflict.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, right now, you want to pitch to contact. Right now, you got to pitch to contact. You can't try and nibble around the zone here. Because you nibble, you get the 9-hitter, and then you get the top of the order right after. So you want to just attack, get the ground ball. You trust your defense. Your defense is very good out here, especially in the infield. Get a ground ball, get out of the inning, go get the sticks back up.
And that one's a base hit. That'll net another run for the Polar Bears. As Cook gets the RBI single, and it's now runners on first and second. And it looks like Lusignan is going to get taken out here in the top 4th inning after letting up 2 runs this inning. So Lusignan's final line, 2 strikeouts and 3 earned runs through 4. And out comes Ben Phillips.
Yeah, kind of got away from Lusignan there in that top half of the 4th. He's responsible for the 2 runners on here, but look for the big lefty from Canada to get back into this one, get the Eagles back in the dugout with minimal damage possible.
And we got another Canadian out there, Ben Phillips from Ottawa. We saw the Senators take a 6-2 loss last night to the Maple Leafs. Wonder how Mr. Phillips is feeling after that one.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Leafs scored a power play goal with like 10 seconds in. It was like, oh, God.
Wait, is that Ottawa, Canada, or California?
No, it's Ottawa, Canada.
Okay.
It should say Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. At least that's all right, because we have the Canada for Spencer Johnson. So we have the Canada. We just don't have. We'll fix that. We'll fix that for the next one.
Is there even in Ottawa, California? I should know this. I'm literally from there.
Yes, I think there is.
No, there
There's
is not.
not?
There is not. We're safe.
We're safe. Xander almost fumbled his own state. It's a big state. Big state. Bunch of people like centralized in one specific area of the state, and everything else is just nothing.
Well, you got L.A. obviously population. What, like
Right. It's that L.A.,
7
San Diego,
million.
Southern California area, and then everything else is just
San Francisco,
right. And then you got nothing.
and then you got nothing. Well, Fresno's pretty cool. I like Fresno. Showing love to my state. I will never go back.
Especially after the books we read in web reporting.
Yeah.
Man.
So Phillips' first pitch is strike one. Collins has a runner in scoring position, can create more damage to these Eagles. Shows bunt, pulls it back for ball one.
Another aspect of fundamental baseball from the Polar Bears, trying to move those runners up with one out.
And it's tough to get the double play out of that, too. If it's a perfect bunt, it is so tough.
Especially when you got the top of the order coming up after this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, breaking ball in there, strike two. Curvature on that one.
Beautiful piece of soft salad there. Beautiful.
Here's a 1-2 from Phillips. Another breaking ball, however, that's outside of the zone. Makes it 2-2 count.
Right there, trying to grab a pair of shoes for the closet.
Trying to sauce him up again. That one's too low. It is now full count for Collins. Collins had that double that plated in and later scored back in the third inning. Here's the payoff pitch from Phillips. Swing and a miss. Crucial strikeout once again from these Eagles. It is now 2 outs with 2 runners on. And now anything goes for an out. Fly out, pop out, grounders, strikeout.
Yeah,
As
absolutely.
long as it's an out.
Absolutely. That's a huge punchy there from Phillips. Trying to get through some traffic on the base paths.
That one inside, ball one. Thompson is 0 for 2 tonight. Had the pop out in the first inning. And then the soft grounder to Lusignan last inning. And he fouls that one off. The 1-1. Swings and misses. Makes it 1-2.
Beautiful change piece there from Phillips. Throwing off the timing a little bit. A little combo action.
Took his time out there on the mound. Wanted changeup, got changeup. Another swing and a miss, and that'll end the top of the 4th inning. Ben Phillips comes in and sort of saves the day a little bit for these Eagles. Only 2 runs in this inning, but the Eagles avoid any further damage with 2 runners on base there. And we are heading to the bottom 4th inning. We see these Eagles have a chance to tie things up. Find out on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back, everyone, to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. For the bottom fourth inning, up to the plate is the ever so dangerous Jackson Curtis, who reached on an error in the first inning and later scored on a double from Matt Holmes. And when Curtis comes up to the plate, you know damage is about to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Takes ball one.
Love to see him get a hanger and go bridge.
Yeah, when you look up the word aura, this man pops up. His presence when he steps up to the plate, it's intense. You know something good is about to happen. He's got that sort of presence out there on the plate. I mean, he's got the most career home runs here at Husson University. He's tied for the most doubles. One more tonight. That's him first all time.
It's crazy because I looked up the word legend in the dictionary and Jackson Curtis popped up too.
Basically, what we're saying is, if you look up any awesome word, even the word awesome, Jackson Curtis pops up.
You just see his headshot.
Yep.
Electrifying.
Here's the 1-2 from Coronado, outside ball two. Here's the 2-2. Curtis swings and fouls that off. Count remains 2-2. And what a job Coronado has done so far. Only one strikeout, but he's only allowed one hit so far, and the run wasn't even earned. And strikes out Jackson Curtis, adding to this game's resume for Coronado.
That's a beautiful pair of shoes there. Fooled Jackson Curtis on the breaking ball.
Got him looking.
Coronado's done a great job at mixing pitches. He's tunneled really well from the fastball to the slider, or the sweeper, whatever you want to call it. We can ask Pitching Ninja, and he can figure that out for us.
Another first pitch strike from Coronado.
Polar Bears in the same shift that they were in during Matt Holmes' first at bat, leaving the 5-6 hole wide open.
And that one just outside for ball one.
It's a shift that's banned in Major League Baseball because you got to have two guys on the same two sides on the field. This used to be the classic David Ortiz shift, Prince Fielder shift. Lots of big left-handed power hitters. Outside of a guy named Barry Bonds.
Who should be in the Hall of Fame, by the way.
Very much should.
It is criminal he is not in the Hall of Fame. I mean, get over yourselves. Put this man in the Hall of Fame right now.
Yeah, like, are we serious? Pete Rose too.
Pre-roids, Barry Bonds was still him.
Pre-roids, Barry Bonds was a 300 guy.
I mean, come on. He was nasty in Pittsburgh.
He just had to take the steroids just so he can catch up with everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, you have to catch up with McGuire.
McGuire's hitting 70 homers.
Yeah.
Like, Sosa was hitting 60. Griffey was hitting 50. I don't blame him.
Oh, breaking ball in there for a punch out. Filthy stuff from Coronado once again. This time got Holmes looking. And like you said, Jacob, he is changing it up. And not only is he changing it up, it is working.
Yeah, really, really good stuff from Coronado. Went with the backdoor sweeper this time. He went with the front door sweeper to Jackson Curtis, so he went with the backdoor sweeper to Matt Holmes. It's just another pair of shoes for the closet.
Collecting them at this point. Out comes Hunter Curtis, 0 for 1 on the night. And the grounder over to Cook. It's a 1-0 from Coronado. Right down the middle for strike one. Curtis didn't like the pitch.
That sweeper is absolutely filthy.
It's got some massive movement on it.
Oh, yeah. Makes that elevated fastball look a few miles an hour faster.
Got to call the sweeper the low taper fade because of the massive movement.
Low taper fade. Oh, you never know what you're going to get.
As Curtis right over the outstretched arms of Foley. That's a base hit. Curtis turning to. Sliding in left as Collins can't get under it. Finally does. And that is a double from Hunter Curtis. So back-to-back strikeouts. And Curtis redeems them with this double. We'll see what Rendell can do next.
Only the second hit on the day for the Eagles. First hit since the first inning when Matt Holmes drove in the run with a double. So two hits, two doubles.
They like those extra base hits.
44 doubles on the season now for the team. Averaging almost 9 hits a game.
Bats have been silenced so far tonight with the hits only being 2. But we are in the bottom 4th inning. Coronado has shown some filthy stuff. Only let up the second hit a few moments ago. Cameron Dell up to the plate now. Takes strike one. Count is now 1-1.
I would say filthy is an understatement. It's just flat out gross.
Mm-hmm. Like, I might puke now.
Well,
that's how gross this is.
Yeah, it's insane. Throw a little turbulence on it. It's all over the place.
Rendell swings and misses for strike 2.
That was a Barry Bonds level swing right there.
Barry Bonds would have sent that into the Kenduskeag River.
I think Barry Bonds would have sent that to Canada, dude.
Yeah.
I don't think the river's even safe.
That pitch outside. Rendell takes ball 2.
From where we are, situated, that pitch went the whole batter's box. Moved the whole entire batter's box. That thing was gross. And he hit a spot, too. Pinpoint command with filthy off-speed.
2-2. Strikes out Rendell. Rendell doesn't like it, but Coronado does. And that is strikeout number 4 on the night for Coronado, and man, was that just in the zone. So the Eagles strand a runner on second. It remains 3-1 Polar Bears as we head to the top of the 5th inning, and you can just feel that the action is about to get a little bit tighter. You might see a little bit more action coming up. It's getting a little bit more intense. So it should be exciting. We'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network for some top fifth action. I'm Xander Cook, joined alongside Jacob Ouellette. As we see Ben Phillips, first pitch, first strike to start off this inning. Phillips with back-to-back Ks to end the fourth. That ball outside for ball one.
Yeah, Phillips coming in with inherited runners on. A little traffic on the base pass, got out of it, looked sharp.
In case you missed it, the top fourth started as an Akira Warren error. Couldn't find the ball. Dropped it. That led to Chai reaching first. And then Foley with a double that scored Chai. Siegel right after that with a single. And then Lusignan finally got a strikeout. And then let up an RBI single to Cook. They took out Lusignan. And then out comes Phillips for back-to-back Ks.
It was a good competitive pitch there from Phillips, just missing the corner.
And now it's a full count for Phillips. It's the payoff pitch. That's a grounder over to third. Evans to first. In there for out number one.
Good work from Evans over there, being calm, collected, ranging to his left, making a strong toss over to first.
Murray 0 for 2 on the night with a strikeout. First pitch swinging, and that is skied into the night sky. However, under it is Hunter Curtis for out number two. And like we mentioned a few innings ago, or last inning, in fact, once it launches up into the night sky, you cannot see it.
No, I put my hands up. I was like, where'd that go? And then I landed in his glove. I was like, whoa.
Not only can you not see it, you don't know how far it's going to go.
Right.
We're just relying on these players in the outfield. Up steps up Chai. 1-0 count.
I'm just glad it's not Leslie, because Leslie's road unis are black pants and black jerseys and black hats. So they just blend in with the center field wall.
You got to admit, though, those are some of the coolest unis.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, black on black on black, it doesn't get better than that.
The funeral attire.
Exactly. The 2-0 pitch. Swings and misses is Chai.
Not the drink.
Not the drink. So it's now 2-1. Chai, not the drink, swings and fouls that one off.
Chai, not the drink. Fantastic. You never know what you're going to get on the Husson Eagles Sports Network.
Why watch Saturday Night Live when you can watch the Husson Eagles Sports Network? A great and legendary quote from Joe Swanson.
Shout him out.
Shout out Joe Swanson.
There we go.
Now we have a full count. Last pitch upstairs. Payoff pitch. That one is another skyscraping hit. Under it is Sear, who makes the play, and that's a quick 1-2-3 out for these Eagles. And it remains a 3-1 game, and we are heading to the bottom fifth inning. We'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom fifth inning on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Up to the plate is Ryan Remetta, who lined out in the second inning. Eagles down 2, looking to regain some momentum like they did in the first inning. First pitch down the middle for strike 1.
Coronado being very efficient, getting the first pitch strike again for another time here.
The 1-1 from Coronado, outside, ball 2. Another one outside. Remetta's ahead in the count, 3-1.
Another competitive pitch there from Coronado.
Unable to find the zone to start off this inning. He's been... Ooh, Remetta thought that ball was outside once again, dropped the bat, was about to head over to first, but ump says strike. So now it's a full count.
Crowd's pretty vocal on that one.
Here's the payoff pitch. Remetta will foul that one off. Back to what I was saying earlier. It was a 3-1 count from Coronado. He's been finding the zone all game, it feels like. And then started to lose a little bit of control to start things off, but got that lucky break from the ump.
Feels like he's just trying to nibble on the outside half a little too much. He's been very effective, very dominant.
3-2 pitch as Remetta will just pop that on out over to Murray. And that's how the first out of the inning starts. And it'll be Colin Marshall up to the plate, who is 0 for 1 on the night. Had the fly out over to center in the second. Marshall looks at a ball 1. That one upstairs for ball 2. And that one's fouled off into right. So staying alive is Marshall.
Right now, if you're the Eagles, you really want to get this bottom of the half of the order going to get traffic on the base pass for the top half of the order. Try and get back into this one.
Marshall with another foul. Makes it 2-2. And this Eagles lineup is so dominant where a 2-run game, that's practically nothing to them. Seems like 17-9 record, over 40 doubles. They have 19 homers on the year. At any given moment, you think or you sense that the script can change. As that is a strikeout from Coronado. And that is number 5 on the night for him.
Four of them being in the last inning and 2/3 here. You want to count the last out of the third, it's 5 2 innings here.
He is starting to feel it as we have Keegan Sear up to the plate. First pitch, too low for ball one. And that one finds the middle of the zone for strike one. Sear 0 for 1 on the night. The ground out in the third inning. And Coronado is terrorizing this Husson lineup so far. They can't find any momentum. So that one's too low for ball number 2 to make it 2-1 count.
Another good pitch there from Coronado on the outside half.
The Eagles so far, they have good contact as there's another swing and a miss. Makes it 2-2, but Eagles have good contact so far. They're fouling off the balls. They just can't get anything into the outfield. They can't get any base hits. Whereas the Polar Bears, that's what they're capitalizing on. And that one just outside makes it full count.
Another good pitch there from Coronado. Coronado, opponents are only hitting 269 on the season against Coronado. He's looked absolutely dominant on the mound here through 4 2/3.
Here's the payoff pitch outside, or inside, excuse me, and Keegan Sear is on base. Warren now up to the plate, 0 for 2 on the night, had the error in the outfield. Looking to redeem himself now with a runner on first. There's 2 outs, down 2 runs. Coronado's pitch right down the middle for strike one.
Coronado being confident in that breaking ball to go to it first pitch is definitely a sign of him feeling it.
Oh, yeah, and not only is it first pitch, it's down the middle, down the middle, down the middle. He is finding that zone at ease. He has tremendous control on that breaking ball so far.
Coming into this one, he had 8 walks to 21 strikeouts, so he's very good at limiting base runners. In his career, it's a 2-to-1 K to walk ratio.
And another breaking ball down the middle, strike number 2. I mean, that thing is just light work for him at this point. Clearly his go-to pitch, and it is working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, as he turns 1. Tried to get Sear. Doesn't pan out.
I wish we could see, like, the percentages. Like, how often he goes to that pitch. Like, how often has he thrown that pitch so far today? I think the number would be pretty decently high. Maybe 35, 40%.
And that's a throw down over to 2. Can't get it, so Sear is safe at second. And now, Akira Warren has that runner in scoring position. Anything into the outfield or into the gap in the outfield will net Sear, make it a 1-run game. So this is a pivotal moment for these Eagles here.
Yeah, it's one you really got to capitalize on here.
As Warren fouls that one off. The 1-2 pitch from Coronado And Warren chops that one foul. Still staying alive in the count, though. So they're giving Sear the signal as soon as he throws it, go.
You just got to be worried about the slow move, the long pickoff move.
As that one's outside ball, too. And Akira Warren, for his career, batting .310, 26 doubles, 6 triples, 5 RBIs. 5 homers, and he's 4 RBIs short of 100 for his career. Oh, now he's got over 50 stolen bases. So he is a menace when he gets on those bases.
And he's a very smart base runner, too. It's not like he's just running to run.
No, yeah. As Warren takes ball 4. So now the Eagles have 2 runners on. Tanner Evans up to the plate. Starting to see a little bit of momentum now for the Eagles. So there's a meeting on the mound for Coronado.
Most of the Bowdoin infield was walking off the field on that pitch.
That is one long meeting out there on the mound. Comes out. Tells him, gotta hurry it up. And they're not making a pitching change. Basically a decision to let Coronado know, hey, you got your 2 outs. I trust you. I believe in you. Go get this out.
Yeah, it's definitely just to give him a little bit of a breather.
Yeah.
Trying to slow him down. Probably the wheels are going a mile a minute.
Yep.
Inside his head.
Spark some words of confidence to him. As Evans takes ball 1. Here's the 1-0 from Coronado. Just above Evans, and that's a wild pitch. That'll advance both Warren and Sear. So now runners on second and third. A base hit here could knot up the game at 3.
Yeah, especially with both sets of wheels that are on the base pass. Kira Warren's a very fast runner. Really, any base hit to the outfield is going to get both runs in.
Here's the pitch. Evans swings and misses for strike 1. Two-one pitch. Evans swings and misses again. It's now 2-2 count. And this is critical for both sides. If you're the Polar Bears, you don't want to give up any runs. You want to keep it a 2-run game. Keep the momentum on your side. And if you're the Eagles, you're looking to knot things up and some.
Right now, just throw your best stuff.
Here's a 2-2, and that hits Evans in the top of the helmet. No, it hits the bat. It's a foul ball. Wow. How often do you see that?
That's why they teach you to get the bat down when you're getting out of the way of a pitch.
Wow, look at that. So had a bases loaded opportunity and instead remains 2-2. Looked like it hit the top of his helmet. Here's a
Yeah.
2-2 pitch. Evans skies that one into center field, and under it to make the grab is Thompson. So the Polar Bears avoid any damage here in the bottom fifth inning. And for the Eagles, it is an unfortunate break for them. And we are heading to the top of the sixth inning. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back, everyone, to the Husson Eagles Sports Network, where we are due up for the top sixth inning for these Polar Bears. It is still Ben Phillips out there on the mound. And up to the plate is Foley, who had the double RBI in the fourth inning and was hit by the pitch in the second inning. The 1-0 from Phillips. Foley checks that one, and it goes over right to Curtis for the easy out. Looked like Foley didn't even want to swing at that one.
Yeah, just couldn't get the hands back in time. A little unlucky break there for Foley.
Up next is Siegel, who's 1 for 2 on the night. Going back to last inning, though, 2 runners in scoring position for the Eagles. Had the 2 outs and just couldn't get anything to the plate. And that could ultimately cost them if they can't get anything else going throughout the night.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the way Coronado has been pitching.
That one is fouled off into left. Count is now 2-1. Another low pitch makes it 3-1 for Siegel. And that pitch is swung on in left field, and Warren is under it to make the grab. So that is a fly out over to left field for the second out of the inning. And that's what these Eagles need, those quick outs. Try to get things back on their side. Try and play catch up.
Yeah, Siegel gave that one a drive too, going the other way. Maybe it's daytime, maybe that ball carries a little further.
Pitch upstairs, ball 1. That pitch can't find the zone, ball 2. Here's a 2-0. That one just in there for strike one. And Phillips has done a great job on the mound as the relief. Has collected a couple strikeouts and hasn't allowed any hits. Here's the 2-1 swung on and missed. Count is now 2-2.
Saw that in his last outing too. Through 2 innings, gave up 4 hits, didn't give up a run got the win against Linden.
He's definitely a guy that when called upon, he does stuff like that. Strikeout number 3 for Phillips. And we are going to the bottom of the 6th inning, where the Eagles have a chance to knot up or take the lead. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back for the bottom 6th inning, where up to the plate is legend himself, Jackson Curtis. If you want to get things going, this is the guy to do it with.
This is the part of the order to do it with. Jackson Curtis has been a very dominant piece in the middle of the order. Same with Matt Holmes.
Looks at a ball there. Curtis tonight reached on an error and later scored, and then struck out looking in the 4th inning. It's been all Coronado tonight. I mean, the man has found his groove, and he's just smooth sailing from there. Another breaking ball right down the middle for strike 1.
Yeah, only giving up 1 unearned run, 2 hits on the day, 5 strikeouts.
As Curtis fouls that one off. Count 1-2 now. And I can almost guarantee you Coronado goes breaking ball here. He went breaking ball last time he faced Curtis, struck him out looking. Could also see changeup here.
Yeah, really anything. You just don't want to make a mistake.
And that one just over the zone. Count now 2-2. Curtis swings and fouls that. You know, with this Eagles lineup, you feel like it's only a matter of time before they get that big break. But the way Coronado is pitching out there on the mound, you just don't know. Now the count is full. Payoff pitch from Coronado. Outside for ball 4. Curtis now moves on over to first. And it is Matt Holmes up to the plate, who doubled and had the RBI that scored Curtis in the first inning.
Longest outing in the season so far for Coronado, 7 innings. Did that back on the 6th against Trinity College at Connecticut. Went 7 innings, get 6 strikeouts, 1 run. It's a pretty similar stat line to tonight.
That one up top for ball 1. And that pitch right down the middle for strike number 1. And that was huge for the Eagles, getting Curtis on base. Getting that first batter on base, really. Doesn't matter how it's done as long as you get him on base. And Holmes swings, undercuts that one. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, big swing from Holmes there, trying to do a little too much. Just want to go station to station. You're down 2 here.
Another swing and a miss. It was tipped into the glove of Chai.
Strikeout number 6 on the afternoon.
Here's the other Curtis brother. And we've seen it all too often. First pitch breaking ball down the middle.
Ties a career high in strikeouts with that one there. I think the scoreboard froze.
It did. Oh.
There it is. We just had to say something.
Here's a pitch. And that'll be a ball. Count now 1-2. And Hunter Curtis swings and misses. Another strikeout picked up for Coronado. And that is now number 8 on the night. Or number 6, excuse me.
7. Strikeout number 7.
7, yes.
Sets a new career high.
So after walk, it's back-to-back Ks for Coronado. Another pitch for strike 1. I mean, what a night for this man. 7 strikeouts, only 2 hits allowed. No earned runs. As that one's grounded over to first. Flips it over to Coronado for the out, and that'll end the bottom 6th inning. And the Eagles strand a runner left on base. We are heading to the top 7th inning. It's getting down to crunch time for both teams. And we'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back, everyone, for some top 7th action between the Polar Bears and the Eagles. I'm Xander Cook, joined alongside Jacob Ouellette. New pitcher in for the Eagles, it is Tanner Audiotis. 5.4 ERA this season, across 9 appearances as Cook skies that one over to the left for a foul. Audiotis he's pitched 15 innings so far this season, has given up 16 hits, 9 earned runs, collected 10 strikeouts along the way. As Cook swings and misses. Audiotis ahead of the count.
Audiotis, another one of those power arms out of the Eagles bullpen. Very good breaking ball. Goes to it a majority of the time.
One, two. Up top for ball number 2. Audiotis versus Kobalskill in 2 innings pitch had a strikeout, couple walks, and an earned run. Here's a 2-2. In there for a strikeout. And that's how you start the top 7th inning if you're Audiotis.
Beautiful backdoor breaking ball there for a pair of shoes. It's a good start for Audiotis out of the pen.
Besides that 4th inning, these Eagles have done a tremendous job defensively from quieting the Polar Bears.
Also done a very good job on the mound. Ben Phillips came in, shut the door down. Audiotis looking to do the same.
Collins ahead 2-0. Make that 3-0. Definitely doesn't have the green light here.
I would. Why not?
Really?
What do I know? Oh, bottom of the order, 3-0. You're up?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
That's why I'm up here.
As that one is skied into center, and Hunter Curtis is under that one to make quick work of it. Out number 2. And Thompson is due up for the top of the order.
Fourth at bat of the evening. I almost said afternoon. I'm so used to doing afternoon
I
games.
know. This is our first night game. This is personally the first night game I've ever called.
Yeah, me too. Well, I got brought into half of a night game. Started at 4.
Ah.
But yeah, first actual night game. It's a fun experience.
It is. This is neat. 2-0 from Audiotis. Picks up his first strike in this appearance against Thompson. Thompson swings at that one, fouled back. Count is now 2-2. Audiotis starting to find the zone now. Here's the 2-2. That one swung on, and what a grab out there in short from Keegan Sear. Right place, right time, just came right to under his glove.
Absolutely. Time to stretch. Sweet Caroline.
Beautiful song.
Absolutely.
We're going to let this one play out. You know, it's not Fenway, but it's pretty darn close, huh?
I know. The trees kind of act like a monster.
Yeah, we got our own green monster out there in left.
It's just the trees.
It's just the trees. And Coronado's still out there.
Oh,
Actually, new pitcher. They are taking out Coronado after 6 innings.
Breaking news.
And what a night he had, Jacob. 7 strikeouts and only 2 hits allowed. Through 6 innings. And now
Alistair Rose.
And Rose this season across 8 appearances has a 6.04 ERA. He started 4 games. He's pitched over 22 innings, 19 Ks. And opponents are only batting .235 against him. He didn't play the last time he matched up against Husson. And against Colby, his last appearance on April 19th, collected a strikeout in an inning. Also had those 2 walks. So we're going to let these guys warm up. Oh, never mind.
They're all warmed up.
They are warmed up now.
So warmed up.
Time for some bottom 7 action. Rose first pitch. Finds the zone for strike 1.
That's how you do it. You just come in, fire strikes. Don't mess around.
Count now 1-1.
I know it didn't hit the zone, but that's another power breaking ball.
Mm-hmm. And Remetta gets a hold of that one. Goes foul.
Remetta actually came in as a quarterback for the football team. Did you know that?
And here he is playing baseball.
Yeah. Went from quarterback to pitcher, now to catcher.
What a transition, huh?
I know.
And here's a 2-2 from Rose. And that gets Remetta looking for a strikeout. So Rose, first batter he faces, K's him. And I got Colin Marshall up to the plate. And Marshall is 0-2 on the night with a strikeout himself.
I was back against Coronado.
Like you mentioned, he's got really nice breaking ball.
That's a second type of breaking ball. He's got the power slider, and then he just broke out that big looping curveball. Fun stuff. I always enjoy some good pitching.
Oh, yeah. 2-0 from Rose. And Marshall skies that one over into right under it to make the grab is Siegel. And that's quick 2 outs for Rose so far, lowering the ERA just a little bit. Now you got Keegan Sear up to the plate. Sear over 1 with a walk.
Walk was stranded at the third in that bottom half of the 5th.
And that's a big swing and a miss for Sear. Count is now 0-2. And all credit to the Polar Bears pitching so far. They have silenced these Eagles bats as Rose picks up another strikeout. Sear goes down looking, and it is still 3-1 Polar Bears heading into the top of the 8th inning. And I mean, wow.
Yeah.
This pitching staff has been tremendous against these mighty Eagles so far. And we'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back, everyone, to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. We are in a 3-1 Polar Bears lead. New pitcher on the mound for the Eagles. It's Connor Abood. First pitch, strike. And Abood this season, 32 strikeouts across 30 innings. Only let up one home run so far. He was the North Atlantic Conference Pitcher of the Week for March 31st.
Abood's one of those guys that if he's on his A game, he is tough to hit.
Sort of lacks a consistency surrounding his game. When he's on, he's on.
He's on. It's filthy. That's the Connor Abood you want to see coming into a playoff push.
And that one's fouled off by Bordas.
Low scoring affair here. 3-1, top of the 8th. It's been a pitcher's duel.
And Bordas cracks that one into right under it to make the grab is Holmes. And that's out number one. Out comes Murray, who is 0 for 3 tonight with a strikeout. Good pitch from Abood there.
Attack, attack, attack.
That one with some wicked movement makes the count 0-2. This is the Connor Abood we all know.
Oh, absolutely. Ooh.
Unable to find the zone for ball one. Brings the count to 1-2, one out.
That's a good miss, too.
Way off target on that pitch. Brings the count to 2-2.
Yank that one just a smidge. Working off the first base side of the rubber.
2-2 pitch. That one swung on, fouled back. So Murray stays alive. And it is crunch time for the Eagles. You're down 3-1. Got to make quick work of these next two hitters. As Murray sends that one into center. And under it to make the grab is Hunter Curtis.
Right on cue.
Now Chai comes up to the plate. Another hitter who is 0 for 3 on the night. Reached on an error and later scored back in the 4th inning. So Boone needs to get a quick out here. Turn it over to the Eagles batting order. And then it's just pound away, pound away, pound away. Need to attack the Polar Bear pitchers.
Right now, the Eagles are going to have the top of the order due up for the bottom half of the 8th. Another good pitch there.
One pitch. And that one swung on, base hit for Chai. Finally able to get his first hit of the game. And the Eagles are unable to send this one back to the bottom 8th. We wait for Foley. And now Foley has a runner on first. Booed down the middle for strike one. Brings the count to 1-1 with 2 outs.
And you just got to keep attacking the zone. Try and get back into the batter's box.
Swings and misses from Foley.
Dirty change up there from Abood.
I'd go back to that one if I were him. Checks over at Curtis. Here's a 1-2 pitch, fouled away. So Foley stays in it.
Went with the cheese.
Foley fouls that one back. That's another thing from both teams so far, Jacob. A lot of good contact throughout the night, really. It's just unable to pin anything in the infield or outfield for a base hit as Foley sends that one into the net.
I feel like it's one of those things that if it was in the daytime, it was a daytime game, we'd be seeing the ball fly all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with the good weather we've had recently. I think it's just the warm weather, the ball would have flown around the ballpark.
Just outside the zone there. Evens the count at 2. Foley with yet another foul ball. Great job making contact in this appearance, elevating the pitch count from Abood. But was just a little late on that swing. 2-2. Brings the count to full.
Good stop back there from Remetta, sliding to his right, keeping the runner on first base.
payoff pitch from Abood, and that is outside, and Foley takes the walk. So now it's 2 runners on base for the Polar Bears. Runners on first and second. Siegel up to plate, who is 1 of 3 on the night. And if you're the Eagles, you cannot let any run across the plate.
Yeah, especially down in crunch time like we are. You're going to have the top of the order do up. 2 runs is a manageable deficit.
Only that after the quick 2 outs to start this inning off, and then letting up a single and then the walk, it'd just be heartbreaking. Oh, 1 from Abood. And Siegel swings and misses. Just from looking at Abood, even though he let up the single and the walk, he is still calm, cool, and collected out there on the mound. Not letting it get in his head. The 0-2 pitch is 1-2 count now. Another foul. One-two pitch from Abood. Swung on and missed. Siegel strikes out swinging, and Abood avoids any damage. And we are heading to the bottom of the 8th inning, where we are heading to the top of the order for these Eagles. And it is crunch time. We'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network, where we are in the bottom 8th inning with Akir Warren up to the plate. We have a new pitcher on the mound. It is Sam Sacerdote. Just over a 2 ERA across 10 appearances. Opponents batting under 230 against him. So it's going to be tough for these Eagles to try and get any base hits and work around the lineup.
Yeah, very tough arm out of this Bowdoin bullpen. You mentioned 2.11 ERA and 10 appearances so far this season. He's got just over a 3 ERA in his career. Granted, that's just 2 years, but still, 23 appearances, having a 3.2 ERA at the college level is definitely nothing to be worried about.
And Warren with a base hit to start things off for the bottom eighth. Warren thought about two. He's going back to first, and that is a clutch base hit for the Eagles. And up to bat is now Tanner Evans. But that was a big base hit.
First hit for the Eagles since the fourth, when Hunter Curtis had a double with 2 outs. But if you want to get the lineup going, this is the part of the lineup to do it.
And Evans swings and misses on Saserdot's pitch. Oh, 1 pitch. Evans thought about bunt, pulled back. Brings the count to 1-1. Evans shows bunt again. Takes ball 2. Warren out there on first. Doesn't look like he's ready to go for second.
Still keep an eye out on it, though.
2-1. Evans fouls that one. Brings the count to even. Saserdot looks at Warren. Warren doesn't have that sizable lead at first. Here's the pitch. Evans into center field, and under that one is Thompson for the routine flyout. Now it's Jackson Curtis.
Curtis scored the only run for the Eagles back in the first. So it's been a minute since the Eagles have been able to get one across. See if the middle of the order can do some damage here.
Saserdot throws over to first to try and tag out Warren. Doesn't happen. Good luck trying to get him out.
See the second baseman playing pretty much right on the bag at second base.
Good eye there from Jackson Curtis. Takes ball 1. And if you're Saserdot, do not throw anything over the middle because Curtis will just tank it. Checks at first again. No dice there.
Might be a smarter situation to pitch around him. Even though you have the runner on first.
And Curtis fouls that one off. And Curtis, the dangerous hitter he has been silenced throughout the game. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. 2-1 count now. And again, he's just one double away from breaking the all-time record. He is locked in at 48.
A double would be huge in this scenario.
Saserdot tries to go first once again, doesn't get it. Two-one pitch. right down the middle. And Jackson Curtis has a few choice words. That one, mad at himself for it. Evens the count at 2.
This is a big pitch right now.
Checks at first again. Another check down over at first. Here's the even Steven pitch, Curtis. And that one is going to be a fly out over to Bordas. So the Polar Bears quieting Jackson Curtis once again.
Most likely his last at bat of the night.
And if that's the case, goes 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Now it's Matt Holmes up to the plate, who is 1 of 3, double and an RBI and 2 strikeouts. And Akira is going second, and he's in there safely. No doubt about that one, per usual. So now Matt Holmes has Akira Warren in scoring position.
Really good jump there from Warren at first. Trying to getting into scoring position, trying to get a run across here.
And that one inside, ball 2, makes the count 2-0. Two-0 count with 2 outs and a runner on second. Here's the pitch. And Holmes launches that one. That's a base hit. Coming around the corner is Akira Warren. And we have a deficit of 1. A huge RBI single for Matt Holmes makes it 3-2 Polar Bears.
Low sinking line drive. Good piece of hitting from Matt Holmes. Getting the Eagles within 1.
And that could have been the last of Sacerdote. It is. Doesn't last the full inning.
Responsible for the runner at first.
Now it's Hunter Curtis up to the plate. He is also 1 of 3 tonight. Had that double in the 4th. He has a strikeout.
Connor Moriarty. I don't know. That's a weird combination of letters. Hasn't pitched so far this year. Oh, no. It's Bordas. Excuse me.
So Will Bordas on the mound for these Polar Bears this season, making his what will be 12th appearance. He's pitched 13 innings, and across those 13 innings, not a single run across the board. And Bordas has also been responsible for 1 of the 3 runs for these Polar Bears. Back in the 3rd inning, he had that sac fly over in right field. Now they're calling upon his name to try and shut down the door on these Eagles after the RBI single from Matt Holmes.
Bordas is their closer. He's got 6 saves on the season.
And Bordas this season, if you've ever seen Rogue One from Star Wars, you know that scene where Darth Vader comes and opens the door and everyone's like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
That's the baseball equivalent
Here it is.
of this. This is Will Bordas with the Darth Vader impersonation. He is tremendous out there on the mound as a closer. 6 saves, no runs across.
2-0, 11 appearances.
And here's Hunter Curtis, runner on first. Curtis swings and misses. And throw down over to second, not in time. So now it's a runner in scoring position for Hunter Curtis, with Matt Holmes stealing a base there. Big stolen base. Any base hit will knot up the game. And here's a 0-1 pitch outside, 1-1.
Big at bat here for Hunter Curtis.
1-1 pitch. Great save made by Chai, but it is a stolen base from Matt Holmes. He's now at third.
A great read there from Matt Holmes, seeing the ball was going in the dirt. Takes third.
Here's the 2-1. Make that 3-1.
Big situation for the Eagles. Henry Logier is on deck for the Eagles.
3-1 pitch right down the middle. Makes it a full count. And this is the biggest pitch of the night coming up.
3-2, 2 outs.
Here's the full count pitch. Walks Hunter Curtis. And we got runners on the corners now.
Bordas thought it was strike 3.
And Lozier is now up to the plate. We're going to have another meeting out there on the mound. And Henry Lozier this season only has 17 appearances across the plays. Hit 4 out of those 17, one of them being a double. But he's also seeing the ball pretty well. He's got those 6 walks to his name. And when he gets on base, he has those 6 stolen bases as well. His last series against London, he went 0 for 2, but did collect 2 walks. So the sophomore out of Saco, Maine, can tie it up with 1 swing.
Don't be shocked if you see Hunter Curtis off with this first pitch.
And he swings at the first pitch, goes foul.
Tying run on third, go ahead run on first.
0-1 from Bordas. Whoa, and that one had some momentum and break to it. Makes it 0-2.
That was a
Filthy.
beautiful
Filthy.
sweeper.
Filthy in every sense of it. Makes it 0-2. Here it is. Down low for 1 ball. And it is 1-2 the count, 2 outs. Runners on the corners for Lozier. Bordas with the 1-2. Outside evens the count at 2.
Again, another massive pitch here in this inning.
And that one swung on. Tremendous grab over at third, but he will not get the throw off, and we are knotted at 3. Lozier with the RBI to tie things up at 3. And what an inning for these Eagles. Down 3-1, able to come back, even it up at 3.
Foley just tripping over his own feet over there at third. Hard hit ball.
And Remetta grounds that one over to short. And Cook turns 2 for the easy out. But it is a tie ball game here heading into the top of the 9th inning. And we'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back, everyone, to the Husson Eagles Sports Network, where we have a tie ball game heading into the top 9th inning, and it is Connor Moriarty up to the plate. The freshman out of Deerfield, Massachusetts, swings and misses at the first pitch. But Moriarty this season batting almost 285, has 11 walks, 17 runs, on base percentage of 40.3. The last time he faced Husson, 0 for 3 and a strikeout. And in his last series against Colby, 0 for 5. 1-1 count now for Bowdoin the Eagles. Can't get it in the zone. Brings the count to 2-1. And Jacob going back to that bottom 8th inning. I mean, how huge was that for these Eagles?
That was absolutely massive. Connor Abood dealing on the mound. The bullpen's been sharp.
And that's a fly out for Moriarty over to Matt Holmes.
But like I was saying, bullpen's been really sharp. And when you get back up to the plate, you're going to have 2 speed guys in Colin Marshall, Keegan Sear. And then you're right back to the top of the order that just produced that game-tying inning from the Eagles. So if you can keep this one knotted at 3, you got to really like the chances for the Eagles.
Bood with the 1-0 makes it 2-0. But yeah, you really do have to like their chances. I mean, you got the 8-9 hitters heading into the bottom of this inning, and then you're back to the top of the order. And it seemed like nothing was going the Eagles' way. Then out of nowhere, ties up the game, and that one skied into left. And under to make the grab is Akira Warren. And just like that, it is 2 outs for the Polar Bears.
And you just got to their closer. So we'll see if he goes back out there. But you just knocked around the closer, so if you can get back in there, might as well keep the offense going. You got the momentum at the moment.
And a Boods pitch. Great one at that. Makes it 1-1. Swings and misses from Collins. Brings the pitch to 1-2 now. And how about a Bood this inning? Here's the 1-2. Right down the middle for strikeout. And we are heading into the bottom of the ninth inning where the Eagles have a chance to do the unthinkable from the seventh inning, and that is take the lead and hopefully win it. We'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back, everyone, to the Husson Eagles Sports Network, where the Eagles have a chance to walk it off this inning after getting the game-tying 2 runs last inning. Colin Marshall up to the plate. Marshall 0 for 3 on the night. And Bordas, first pitch, just inside for ball 1.
Great crowd still on hand here. We're almost at 10 o'clock.
And Marshall chops that one foul. Brings the count to 1-1, and the whole momentum just shifted in this building in the bottom 8th inning. And now it looks like the Eagles have all the swagger on their side, Jacob.
Yeah, absolutely. The big 8th inning. Connor Abood went down, shut down an inning in the 9th. You do, exactly, Xander. You got to think the Eagles really have all the momentum right now.
As Marshall chopped that one down the left baseline for a foul, brings the count to 1-2. Bordas 1-2 pitch to Marshall, hits him, and Marshall is heading on over to first, and just like that, Eagles have a base runner with Keegan Sear up to the plate now. And Sear walked in the 5th inning, has the strikeout in the 7th. But he has that base runner now with no outs. And then after Sear, it's the top of the order.
Top of the order. Exactly who did it in the bottom half of the 8th.
Yeah, Akira Warren had that big base hit in the center field gap to get the 8th inning scoring onslaught started. Well, not onslaught, but tie up the game.
Look to see some small ball out of the Eagles here.
And here's Keegan Sear facing Bordas. Shows bunt, pulls it back. 1-0 count now. Shows bunt yet again. checks back for ball 2. And this is situational baseball from Keegan Sear. Has that base runner on first. Doesn't have any outs. He's just looking to advance him into scoring position.
Right now, you just got to get the ball down. You got to get the bunt down. You can't pop it up. You have to get the ball on the turf.
Sear shows bunt once again. And that is down the middle for strike 1. And now it's a 3-1 count.
Big situation here. Big pitch.
Showing bunt again, and that is a perfectly placed bunt. Advances Marshall on over to second. Good reaction time there from Bordas to get that out over on first. But now it's Akira Warren up to the plate, and he's got a runner in scoring position. He got the hitting started in the bottom of the 8th with that single.
Single, stole a base.
He is 1 of 3 on the night with that single and the walk in the 5th.
This is the man you want up.
Here's the pitch. And that is low for ball 1. Just 2 innings ago, we were all thinking, man, what a bullpen from Bowdoin, shutting down the Eagles hitters. How are they going to hit against these guys? How are they going to plate any more runs? And then the script flipped upside down in the 8th. Eagles able to tie up the game at 3. And now, Abood shutting down the Polar Bears top of the 9th inning. Gives the Eagles a chance to win this ball game. Akira Warren in a 1-2 count. Runner on second, only 1 out. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Warren swings and misses. That is a strikeout for Bordas. 2 outs now for the Eagles. Tanner Evans, chance to play hero. And Evans without a hit so far. He is 0 for 4 on the night. Takes ball 1.
I know I've said this like 4 or 5 times already. This is a massive at bat here.
Oh, yeah. Here's the 1-0 from Bordas. Evans flies that one foul. One and one from Bordas. Evans looks at a ball. It's now 2-1.
Right now, it looks like Bordas trying to nibble around the zone. Got the open base. But the man on deck is not someone you want to face.
No, it is not. Here's a 2-1. Evans hit by the pitch. Bat flips on over to first. And now guess who is up to the plate? Jackson Curtis. However, Curtis has been shut down all game. He is 0 for 4. Excuse me, 0 for 3. He had that walk in the 6th. Reshon in there in the 1st.
Even though he's 0 for 3, he can still turn on one.
Take strike 1. Jackson Curtis has runners on first and second. Now here's the thing. If you're Bordas, do you pitch around him? Or since he's been silenced all game, do you hammer it in the zone? And that's a swing and a miss from Jackson Curtis. We have our answer from Bortis. He is not going to pitch around him. 0-2 count now from Curtis. What could be the biggest at-bat of the game. Curtis, just foul. Stays alive, though.
Anything that's hit, it's just always like, whoa, is it going to land fair? Is it going to do this?
And you can just tell on the field, in the stands, everybody's hearts are pumping. Curtis swings and misses. Bortis is fired up, and we got extra innings here in Bangor. It remains 3-3 as we head into the top of the 10th inning. We'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network, where we have extra innings.
Free baseball.
It is a 3-3 game, and we have a new pitcher, Alex Smith, on the mound. Smith, 1.26 ERA this season. He has been shut down. And what better way to rely on a guy than this one? Alex Smith, you're in the extra innings, as that one is skied foul. We are in the top of the order for Bowdoin. Thompson today, 0 for 4, had a pop out, ground out, strikeout, and a line out. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one's grounded over to third. In time for out number 1. What a throw from Tanner Evans.
What a play.
Clutch.
Right now, the Polar Bears are not happy to see Alex Smith on the bump. On the 7th of April, Alex Smith came in relief, got the win, 6 1/3 shutout innings, striking out 6. So right now, Bowdoin is not really happy to see Alex Smith on the mound here.
And look at this, closer versus closer. We got Smith versus Bortis. 1-0 count. Bortis fouls that one back. Count now 1-1. One pitch. Bortis fouls that one back yet again. Makes it 1-2. It is just past 10:05 p.m. Here for Monday Night Baseball, Tanner Evans. Over to first to Jackson Curtis. Out number 2 indeed. big.
No place I'd rather be than in the booth with you here on Monday Night Baseball for some free baseball, extra innings.
Starting to get antsy here. Heartbeat racing. Got the extra innings baseball.
A little situational baseball here. Coach talking to
And up
Kevin Murray.
Murray tonight 0 for 4. Couple flyouts, a ground out, and a strikeout.
Still a very dangerous bat. In the middle of this order, so you can't take him lightly. Again, we mentioned over 1,000 OPS on the season heading into this one.
Here's a pitch to Murray. Sends that one way back. Way back. It is gone! Round tripper for Murray!
Wow! That was a shot.
And the Polar Bears have taken the lead yet again.
Murray got his pitch and made it pay. Murray going bridge into the trees.
Just when you need him, he's there. And now it is Chai up to the plate. All the momentum back to the Polar Bears. Ball 1. And he gets a hold of that one, but under it to make the grab is Holmes, and now we are heading to the bottom of the 10th inning. Will we see a comeback from the Eagles? Will we see the Polar Bears hold on to the lead? Stay tuned on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Xander Cook, joined alongside Jacob Ouellette. We are in the bottom of the 10th inning. In case you missed it, we just saw Murray with the no-doubter home run
Moon bomb.
to make it 4-3. New pitcher as that one's grounded over to first. Murray called off the pitcher, said, "I got it," and that's out number 1, so Holmes with the ground out. But Murray with the no-doubter, top 10th inning, 4-3 Polar Bears. And new pitcher on the mound is Jacob Warren, the sidearm thrower. Throwing flames. Now he's got Hunter Curtis. Wild pitch for ball one. That was Kevin Murray's 8th home run this season. That one too low. Ball two.
Might be starting to rain a little bit.
Oh, yeah. 2-0 pitch. Make that 2-1. Two-one pitch. Outside for ball three.
Big at bat here for Hunter Curtis, trying to get on, down a run.
Hunter Curtis, 1 of 3 tonight. He had that double, ground out, strikeout, and walked. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Curtis swings at that one. That's over to third. Is it in time? Yes, it is. There's out number 2, and what a throw from Foley.
That's a fantastic play right there. That's one going right over the bag. That's a tough one. Tough one for any third baseman to make a play on. But makes the play, makes a solid throw over to first.
And now it's Henry Lozier. And the Eagles are down to their final out just after clawing their way back to tie up the game. Check swing, pulls it back. That is ball one. Lozier had that RBI to tie things up in that bottom eighth. Can he do it again? 2-0 count. Two-0 pitch. Outside again. Makes it 3-0. Warren's pitch. Outside for ball number 4. And that is a walk for Lozier. And now up is Ryan Remetta. Runner on first. Final out. Pitch outside, 1-0.
It's 5 straight now. 5 straight balls.
And another meeting on the mound happening. Gotta have one after 5 straight pitches, 5 straight balls. Interesting to see what's to come after this discussion. If you're out there, Jacob, what do you think is being told?
Right now, it's just throw it. You have 2 outs here. So pitch to contact and trust your defense. That's really all you can say right now. As Warren has thrown 5 straight balls over these last 2 hitters. 4-pitch walk and the first ball here. You just want to pitch to contact. Get the ground ball. You've shown you've gotten ground balls already this inning. So you just got to pitch to contact and get your fielders involved. Trust your fielders.
Here's the 1-0. Right down the middle, strike one. So after 5 straight balls, he's able to find the zone. And that is huge for Warren. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And Lozier steals second. And now Remetta, runner on second in scoring position, has a chance with one swing to tie things up again for these Eagles. It is a 2-1 count, 2 outs. One swing into the outfield. We are tied again. Here's a pitch. Outside, ball number 3. Three-one pitch from Warren. And that is another walk, back to back. 2 runners on base for the Eagles. And it's Colin Marshall up to the plate.
Jack Cody's going to come in and run for Ryan Remetta.
And I'll tell you what, Jacob, these Eagles just don't quit.
No.
Still finding a way to get on base.
Absolutely. Right now, you got the speed. We're going to have a new arm come in for the Polar Bears. Try and get a number here.
And it looks like Ryan Buskett is going to be the one to step into the plate.
Connor Cassidy is the one taking the hill. Senior from Chicago, Illinois. 1.17 ERA on the season. 2.17 batting average against. 7 appearances, 7 2/3 innings. He's only given up 1 run on the campaign so far this season. He's been a tough guy. So far this season, through an inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Just a clean 1-2-3 inning for the tall righty. Pitched against the Eagles back on the 7th. In that 6-1 Eagles win. Inning in the 3rd, 1 walk, 1 strikeout.
Getting some warm-up pitches in while Buskett awaits. Runners first and second. Still Eagles down to their final out. And the hairs on the arms of the fans starting to rise. A big at-bat coming right up. And they are ready. Ryan Buskett this season batting just over .230 with 4 RBIs. And what could be the biggest at-bat of the season for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, you really, with the new arm, you got to take till you get a strike. Take till you get the strike, and then attack. That pitch is right there. You got to take it, though. Got to attack.
Cassidy's first pitch. Too low, ball 1. And that one just outside for ball number 2.
That's a very competitive pitch there from Cassidy. Just couldn't get the call.
It's one of those where it can go either way.
Absolutely. Might also be a product of the previous pitching.
2-0, swing and a miss from Buskett. Makes it 2-1.
I think he probably still should have taken till you get the strike. You saw 2 balls right away. Third one was in the dirt. I think that's one you really just got to take till you get a strike, then attack. You're going to swing, you got to make it count.
Here's the pitch. Outside again, makes it 3-1. And all three of these batters of the Eagles, tremendous eye contact. Not swinging at anything they don't like. And it's been paying off so far. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Buskett will walk on over to first, and the bases are loaded.
In steps Keegan Sear. One of the biggest at-bats of the season.
And after 2 groundouts, we have 3 straight walks. The bases are loaded for the first time all game. Keegan Sear down to the final out. And Sear is 0 for 3 tonight. Takes strike 1.
Very close pitch there to start the at-bat from Cassidy.
It is sprinkling here on the field. Here's the 0-1. Sear over to short. Bobbles it. Gets the out at second. What a play. And the Polar Bears win. The Polar Bears have won. What a tremendous play. Able to flip it on over to Bordis.
That took a wonky hop. Right there, we all were jumping up. But what a fantastic play there. What a fantastic game.
What a play by Cook over at short. Bobbles it, realize he can't go 1, able to turn 2, gets the out. And just like that, it is a 4-3 win for Bowdoin. They improve to 22-9 on the season, while Husson drops to 17-10. Monday Night Baseball officially ending at almost 10:30. What a game, Jacob.
A heartbreaking finish to that contest. But that's what happens when you get 2 of the best teams in the state doing battle. They split the season series 1-1. It ends the Eagles' 4-game win streak against the Polar Bears. Bowdoin moves to 36-24 in the all-time series. But it was a fantastic game, and I didn't want to be here with anybody else other than you by my side.
Thank you so much, my friend. And that'll wrap things up here from the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Xander Cook, joined alongside my good friend Jacob Ouellette. Thank you for joining us. Have a great night and get some sleep.